the golden fleece Vellus Aureum to Vonicum. You know what may have happened to me when I saw the voice. But having slightly proceeded with things, I heard that which might seem vain to you. But do not believe false dreams, rather. Be like a wise man who sees things hidden under the veil. When things are so arranged that obstacles surround, often the eyes can only discern faintly. But continue, Muse, for I will carry this work forward. If the path is narrow, I will pass under the way, though fierce obstacles threaten. The very soul of my mind, trembling with horror, when difficulties began to plague me in the course of life. And now, turning towards the far-off places, I might be carried by the gods, if they would stir the holy work. For who could trace the path to the rocks beyond the heavens, and the distant river flowing through the depths, traversing the life beneath, where the worst? But he, the mighty God, the eternal, continually illuminates pure light beneath the hardened earth, when they previously offered themselves in all the shadows of night. First of all, the mighty rock stood, and against it, the sudden weight of the heavy mound, which, upon the first arrival, a thin streak appeared. And neither does Phoebus cast his rays, nor light. I wandered in the dark and deep night, until at last I came to the grave places in the land. There, where the light, I observed, was hindered. Here, for the first time, I encountered the sun's rays. And before this, looking around, I felt the force of the sea's waves. But I did not allow myself to be moved by the path. And the very waters flowed through. From the dark clouds, the rain poured. Thus, as I proceeded, though troubled by the mighty force, I wandered, with my path clear. And here, on the soft ground, I saw the traces of my steps. I had wandered 4 days with uncertain paths. And when at last, I finally reached the highest point, I felt as if the light had fully disappeared from my eyes. What could I do? Or why should I be drawn to the shadows? Or what could be more familiar than to go backwards, without light? In the meantime, I crossed rivers and swamps. And I reflect, how many times have I passed over the soil? I even had the chance to speak to those beside me. But I did not hear the voices of the gods. I did not hear them, for my own soul was not yet prepared. Thus I saw before me, between the mountains, a great noise, and light everywhere returning. And in the valley, I was not troubled by darkness. For I came out into open fields, wide and open. Here, in all places, I passed over the greatest mountains. A body full of change, glowing with light. Then, I heard the waves of the river, a voice from beyond. The sound filled the surrounding air, flowing as far as I could hear. The air seemed calm, yet it trembled from the sounds of the waves. That one, tender and high, rooted in the earth, was flying against the wind, and even itself was calling. Like someone who knows her, I am immediately brought to it, flattering, and eagerly seeking to give, and often to show her limbs, occasionally moving her varied and wide path, and I proceed further. She comes to such honors and wears a decorated robe. I take this, eagerly turning it under the cave. An outcome, which perhaps was caused by a cleft in the rock. A green oblong block, veined with moss and creeping. Then, from the south, the sun, in its radiant light, was rising, bringing the fresh spring waters. With great efforts, these pairs competed in the task. Here, it had laid its remains and put on a new robe first. The victorious one, although now changed, remains unchanged. It draws from the sun's radiant splendor and colors the rainbow, where the earth's scorching heat now lies. Or, often, it shows itself in its variety of motions. It holds the veins that pass through a light to the racecourses, before all the other worthy birds, above the rest. 100 eyes looking around. The gleaming one, passing on the rays, did not allow for any earlier distinction in the winds. I have seen, already in its new shining light, all things scattered by the sunlight, and the breeze feels to me. Laziness or the madness of rage drives one. And what envy excites the mind, driving it insane. But that one, nevertheless, is empty and weak, not able to overcome me. Thus, the vigor of the body fails, and its strength diminishes. The serpent, often flourishing in the fragrant herbs, wanders widely across the fields, where no lasting meadow grows. The fire, like ice, burns with its breath, or with the sun's heat. The temperate one is as great as the sky itself. And at times, it offers to me sweet fruits and pleasant nourishment. Branches spread out, burning beneath the tree. Always and with constant irrigation filling the cup's fountain. And meanwhile, it goes around itself like the circle of a year. The promised day was near, and now it is ready to receive me. I expect the return after a long delay. To the homeland, and with so much labor almost complete. I did not know that I was hindered by the heat of the sun. Shaking, and feeling the cold approaching me. For the marble, from the whiteness of its color, now shone like ivory, surpassing the scent of flowers. I did not know whether it was the saffron-colored bloom that had gradually turned the violet red. Then, I saw a greater work, a golden table. I expect it, and the labor will yield this task. No other passion can turn me away from this task. And setting my intention, would achieve even greater things. Until the perfect time arrived and the circle was completed. The purple banners waved, showing all its color. And beneath the purple, the golden color showed through. Its delay, at last, the flock with its mouth and nostrils displayed. The golden fleece fell, and a heavy weight of the empty body was at its feet and on its golden horns. Here, I was more heavily struck by a sharp fate. And I withdrew, seeking the place of rest. Hoping to die with kindness. Soon, placing the weight upon the shoulders, I returned to the homeland. And again, I heard the golden fleece of Colchis. The end.